Hello dear students. In our lesson today, we're going to deal with some grammar. More specifically, we're going to see the present tenses. And what are those present tenses? We're talking about the present simple, present continuous, and present perfect. First of all, present simple. So, the tense that talks about the present. How do we form the present simple? We take the verb as it is, for example, eat, and we say, I eat, you eat, he, she, and it. In the third form, it's. So we put an S in the end. We eat, you eat, they eat, simply. The negative form. We use the auxiliary verb do and not. So, I do not or I don't eat. You don't eat. He, she eat, does not or doesn't eat. We, you, they don't eat. So, I don't, he, she eat, doesn't. Don't forget that. In the third form, third singular form, doesn't. If I want to ask a question now, we use do. Do I eat? Do you eat? In the third person, does. Does he, she eat? Eat? And do we eat? Do you eat? Do they eat? If I want to answer a short question, do you eat, for example? Yes, I do. So if I use do in the question, I answer with do. If I use does he eat? I answer with does. Yes, he does. Or if it's negative, no, he doesn't. So what we're going to keep in mind about the present simple is that we have a very simple form and we put an S in the third person, in he, she, and it. Which are the time expressions that we use? So, those words that show us the time. For example, usually, how often you do something, always, every day, every month, every year, in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, at the weekends, on Mondays, on Tuesdays. Let's see an example. He always rides his bike to school. So we have the time expression always. This is something that you do as a routine, and that is the main use of the present simple. As a routine, every day, every week, always. And our verb, simple verb, with an S. He rides his bike to school. There are also some other uses of the present simple. We're going to see them together and practice them. So we're going to have the sentences and then how they match with their uses. Let's take the first one. Water. We've got the verb freeze. Present simple. Put it in the third person with an S. So water freezes at 0 degrees. And what is the use? What does it show? The fact that water freezes shows us something that is general truth. It doesn't depend on us. We know that at 0 degrees the water freezes. So this is the law of nature. Let's move on with another example. The last train to Athens, you've got the verb leave. The train, put it in the third person. The train leaves. So we need an S. Leaves at 8:30. And what does this show? This is a timetable. So a fixed time. The train leaves, the plane leaves. We know it is a timetable with present simple again. Let's see another example. John, the verb is work, at the hospital. John put the verb in the third person. He works at the hospital. And does he work just for one day? No, this is something that happens all the time. This is a permanent state. So this is his job. He goes there every day. It's permanent, not just for a little. Let's move on. In the end, they solve the mystery. So, our verb in plural now. In the end, as it is, they solve, simple verb, the mystery. We can find this sentence when we narrate, when we say something in a story, or for example, when we have a sports commentary, a review. We use the present simple. And one more example. She usually, the verb is walk, to school. We have the time expression usually, so routine again. Don't forget, the main use of the present simple is a routine, a habit. So, in the third person, put an S in the end. She walks. Can you see? In the third person, walks to school. And this, of course, shows, we said, a routine. Something that she does every day, something that she does as a habit. All right. We finished with the present simple. Let's continue with the present continuous. How do we form the present continuous? We have the verb to be and our verb in ing form. So, I am running. I am, this is the verb to be, and the ing form. You, continue. You are running. He is running. She is running. It is running. We are running. You are running. They are running. So the verb to be and our verb in ing form. The negative form, simply put not after the verb to be. I am not running. You are not, or shortly, you aren't running. He is not. He isn't running. She isn't running. We are not. We aren't running. You are not. You aren't running. They are not. They aren't running. If I want to ask a question, we swap the verb to be with the pronoun. So, am I running? Put the verb to be in front. Are you running? Is he running? Is she running? Is it running? Are we running? Are you running? Are they running? If I ask a question, I might have a short answer. So, are you running? Yes, I am. Or, no, I'm not. Is he eating? Yes, he is. Or, no, he isn't. So, the present continuous form, we have the verb to be, I am, you are, and our verb in ing form. Now, which are those time expressions that we use with the present continuous? We said that present continuous is that tense we use especially to talk about things either happening now at the time of speaking or that have been already arranged. There are some other uses that we're going to see. So now, this week, this month, this year, nowadays, this afternoon, this Monday. Let's see an example. They are walking to school now. The verb to be and our main verb in ing are walking. When? Now. So the present continuous is used mainly to show things happening now. All right. We're going to see now some examples and I want you to match the sentences with their uses. So, we. Put the verb in the present continuous. We, how we're going to put that? the verb to be, and main verb in ing. We are going to the cinema in the afternoon. What does this show? Take a look. It's an action that has been already arranged. We have already planned for that. We have a fixed arrangement in the future. Let's move on with the second sentence. The earth, and our verb is become, more and more polluted. Present continuous. The earth is becoming, the verb to be, and ing. We omit e. No more e in the end. No e. Becoming, ing form. And what does this show? We have a situation that is changing. So, we have a changing or developing situation as a use. Let's move on with the other one. You always interrupt me. Present continuous again. You are always interrupting me. What does this show? That I don't like this situation. I'm not satisfied with this situation. All right? You are interrupting me. So, one of the uses of the present continuous is the expression of anger or annoyance. I don't like the fact that you are always interrupting me. Another example, Kate, the verb is work, as a waitress this summer. Kate in the third person. Kate is, so the verb to be and ing. Kate is working as a waitress. Kate, maybe Kate does something else, but only for this summer, so only for one period, she is working as a waitress. And we have a temporary action or situation. Just for this period, just for this summer, she is working. And let's move on. My parents, you have the verb have, lunch at the moment. And that is the most classical use of the present continuous. At the moment, they are doing something. So my parents are having, the verb to be, are, and our verb in ing, are having. And of course, we said that the main use of the present continuous is that the action is taking place at the moment of speaking. All right, so we talked about present simple, routines, habits. We talked about present continuous, things happening now, or when we show that we are angry about a situation, or when we're talking about a fixed arrangement. Also, one more tense that refers to the present is the present perfect. How do we form the present perfect? We have the verb have, so I have, you have, or he has, and the past participle of the main verb. I have played. So the past participle is the verb with ed. I have worked. I have done, if our verb is irregular. I have left. He has left. She has left. It has left. We have left. You have left. They have left. If I want to state the negative form, I have not, or I haven't, shortly. You haven't left. He hasn't left. He has not. She hasn't left. It has not. It hasn't left. We haven't left. You haven't left. They haven't left. And if we want to ask a question, have I left? So we swap again. We put our auxiliary verb, our helping verb, have, in the beginning. Have you left? Has in the third person. Has he left? Has she left? Has it left? Have we left? have you left? Have they left? And if I want to answer a short question, have you left? Yes, I have. Has she left? No, she hasn't. No, they haven't. So, in the present perfect, we have got time expressions that have to do with the present, but somehow are related to the past as well. So, there are some actions that maybe started in the past and have just finished in the present, or they were done in the past but we don't know when. So, we have time expressions like already, I have already done my homework, just, I have just finished my homework, yet, in negative sentences, I haven't finished my homework yet. Since 1995, for 2 years, I have never visited Paris. Have you ever visited Paris? I have read 100 pages so far. So I started in the past and continue in the present. Have plus our past participle. Now, I would like from you to find the correct answer. We have the uses. So one of the uses of the present perfect. It happened in the past, but we don't know when. They have bought. Have plus past participle. We don't know when. They have bought a house. Another use. An action started in the past and continues in the present. They, the verb is know. They have known each other for 4 years. Let's move on. An action that was recently completed, that just finished. For example, he, the verb is finish, so he has just finished a new house. One more use. A personal experience or a personal change. He, the verb have in the third person, he has gained. So has and our verb in ed weight. And one more use of the present perfect. When an action happened within a specific time, but this time hasn't finished yet. For example, Anna, the verb is travel, 3 times this year. So Anna has traveled with an ed 3 times this year. All right, so we talked about these 3 tenses, the present simple, the present continuous, and the present perfect. Think of an example for every one, and it will be really easy for you to discern one from the other. Thank you for paying attention. Goodbye.